Presidential race appears tied, and that has both campaigns focused on turning out what they think will be their winning coalition. For Harris, there's been a lot of talk about trying to hold the Obama coalition, including black men. And there's been warning signs and public outreach among Democrats on this story. But there's actually more to it than some of those simple headlines. I have new evidence on that for you in a moment. First, though, here's just some of how the conversation has played out from Obama on down.
I know what the question is. Continue.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout. It seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
It's sad but true. Some of my brothers have been drinking that Kool-Aid.
He swung and missed.
Obama just says outright, he's like, do you just not want to vote for a black woman?
Most black men are going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway.
It's like maybe her is what is about her.
Those comments are insulting and insults the intelligence of every black American.
President Obama, because he's been going really hard on the brothers. Some might think too hard, but I don't think so.
Now, that's what Spike Lee just told us. He also hit the campaign for Harris, along with other validators like Samuel L. Jackson, Magic Johnson, Usher, and Obama himself, of course. But if there is a concern about men holding back on voting for Kamala Harris, I have a fact check for you right now. That issue, that dynamic, is not led by black men or by men of color. That's just not what the numbers show. So I'm going to show them to you tonight, just as a fact check, very simply. The gender gap and the male rush towards Trump is led by white men who overwhelmingly back Trump. Only 36% of white men, according to the polls we have right now, back Harris. So you see that. That number goes up when you ask Latinos. It's just above split for the Latino male vote, about 53%. And then a gender gap that is huge for white men and roughly split for Latinos actually only crumbles when you look at the population of black men as opposed to all other men in the United States. Black men overwhelmingly back Kamala Harris at 72%. I mean, just look at that. This is the state of the male vote, best we can tell right now. White men opposed and black men bucking any so-called gender gap. And it's been like this for a while. I showed you just some of that conversation a moment ago because for all the questions about a woman president, this is how it's been. 8 years back, most white men also opposed Hillary Clinton. Only about a third voted for her in the 2016 vote. These are 2016 exit polls. This is the exit polling they do of people who actually turned out. Vast majority of white men opposed Hillary Clinton. 82% of black men voted for her. Now, there are gender and racial dynamics to voting in America. You can count this many different ways. But the largest demographic swing of men for a woman president, of all men, comes from the black community at higher rates than other groups. Now, there are different factors for that, which include the long-standing alliance within the Democratic Party. But on the facts and the numbers, it's certainly odd for this much of the national political conversation to almost sort of hammer black voters or black men over this when they are not the community measurably holding back on women candidates. Not this year, not in 2016 with a white woman candidate. They're just not the source of the gender gap. So that's your fact check. Then there's the politics. What is true, and one of the reasons that President Obama and others are talking about this on the campaign trail, is that to win, national Democratic tickets usually do need very high black turnout. That's part of what has been historically the winning coalition in the past decades. The Biden-Harris ticket in 2020 only had about 38% among white men, 41% you could see if you go back to Obama, but those tickets excelled and made up for it, including in the states they needed to win the Electoral College among black men. And you can see the comparison very clearly here, including The high point of Obama's first campaign, even higher than Biden-Harris, which is on the far right, a whopping 95% of black men. So that's a disparity. And the concern is that for Democrats, if Harris is in the low 70s, which you see there at 72, and not 80 or 90, that could cost them the difference of what they used historically to win. So then you have, of course, the gender gap also combines with turnout. Remember, women have tended to turn out at higher rates than men. That's in every election since 1980. And no shade, we want everyone to live a long, healthy life, but women live longer, so there are often more female seniors. Seniors vote at the highest rates. So again, you can cut it many different ways. The Harris team wants to, of course, increase all of the members of the Obama coalition, and they are hoping for a big women's turnout, which could decide this whole race. But when you take it together and look at the numbers, again, I didn't make any arguments to you. I didn't add any opinions. I just walked through the numbers. It is impossible to claim that the gender gap is coming from or being driven by black households in America.